Hey everyone, welcome back. Look, if you're here right now, it means you're ready to focus, you're ready to execute, and honestly, you're ready to take a massive leap forward. In this explainer, we're diving deep into Module 10 of the Triple E program, and the theme: equipment, entrepreneurship, and empowerment. This whole thing is literally about transforming your ideas into structured, viable enterprise opportunities through Project I, Equipment Enterprise Business Plan Development. So, grab a notepad, lock in, and let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this agenda, which is basically your ultimate table of contents today. We're going to start by mapping your enterprise journey, define what a business plan actually is, and then build out your business core. After that, we'll look at planning, finances, and growth, check out a really cool agri-processing case study, and wrap it all up with the ultimate mindset shift you need to succeed.
All right, Section 1, Mapping Your Enterprise Journey. Let's talk about your enterprise foundations.
Before we start building the future, I really just want to acknowledge the serious hard work you've already put into the previous modules. You didn't just show up today starting from scratch, right? You've been out there gathering your foundational maps, your compass, your data. You're definitely not just wandering anymore. You are fully equipped and completely ready to chart a clear route to execution.
Let's get specific for a second about what you've already pulled off here. You've hit a major milestone by building solid foundations across 5 key areas. You've successfully identified and evaluated real market opportunities. You've developed and tested your business models. You've got your target customers completely mapped out. Your financial readiness is prepped, and your growth strategies, they're structured and ready to go. Basically, you've got all the raw materials. Now, it's time to bring everything together.
Which brings us to Section 2. What is a business plan? Let's define the roadmap.
So to actually synthesize all those foundational areas we just talked about, we need a very specific tool. What exactly is a business plan? Well, fundamentally, it's a roadmap. And I really want you to focus on that word roadmap. A static idea just kind of lives in your head, right? But a roadmap, that's what actually moves you from just thinking about an idea to dynamic, real-world execution. It gives you direction, accountability, and total clarity. So the crucial point here is that every single effective business plan is built on 4 essential pillars. Number 1, what? Like, what exact business are you building? Number 2, who? Who are your actual customers? Number 3, how? How are you going to generate revenue and scale this thing up? And number 4, what resources? Specifically, what equipment and funding do you need to actually pull this off? If your plan can answer those 4 questions crystal clear, you are absolutely on the right track. Okay, moving on to Section 3, Building Your Business Core. We're looking at Sections 1 through 8 here. This is where things get super practical. Your Project I submission is broken down into 12 sections, and these first 4, they establish the absolute core identity of your enterprise. It all starts with your business profile, just the basic demographics. Then we get into the business opportunity. What specific gap did you actually find out there? And that naturally leads right into your problem statement, where you clearly articulate the exact pain point you're trying to solve. Finally, we zero in on your target customers. And you've got to be really specific here. Are you selling to farmers, local schools, or individual consumers? Moving briskly right along to the next block, we're shifting from your identity to your daily operations. Section 5 details your exact products or services, which feeds directly into your business model in Section 6. So are you relying on direct sales, service fees, maybe contracts? Then Section 7 is absolutely critical for this program. Your equipment requirements. What specific machinery do you literally need to operate? And finally, Section 8 outlines your marketing plan, because people actually need to find out about you, right? Now, I just want to pause here for a quick second. You've got an identity, you've got an operational plan, you even know exactly what equipment you need. But how is this business going to sustain itself over time? Honestly, it's the most critical question any entrepreneur can ask themselves. Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds. Planning finances and growth, covering Sections 9 through 12. All right, so this is exactly where we answer that big sustainability question. These final 4 sections are all about making sure your business is viable, fundable, and ready to make a real economic impact. Section 9 tackles your financial plan, so your startup costs, monthly revenue, expenses, and projected profit. Having that dialed in lets you build Section 10, which is a growth plan mapping out your next 6 months, 12 months, and 3 years. Then Section 11 assesses your funding readiness based on your traction so far. And finally, Section 12 looks at the big picture, your business impact. Like, how much income will you generate? How many jobs will you create? How are you actually going to develop your community? Up next is Section 5, the agro-processing case study. Let's look at moving from ideas to action. So, now that we've laid out that whole 12-section framework, let's shift from theory over to a real-world application. I want you to consider this agro-processing enterprise. One of the participants noticed a really significant problem, severe post-harvest losses happening right in her local community. Just so much food going to waste. But instead of just having a noble idea about it, she used this exact 12-section framework. She identified her customers, mapped out the revenue, stated her equipment requirements clearly, and built a real growth strategy. And you know what? That structured plan became the absolute solid foundation for her actual expansion.
Which really brings us to the ultimate lesson from her story. A good business plan transforms ideas into action. It's so true. Without the plan, she just had a nice thought about saving post-harvest crops, right? But with the plan, she built a completely fundable, structured enterprise. It's a total game changer. And that leads us nicely into section 6, the ultimate mindset shift. We're talking triple E thinking here.
As we head into this final phase of the explainer, we really need to focus on evaluation. Look, when you submit your completed business plan, it isn't just disappearing into some black hole. It's going to be evaluated on a very specific scorecard. You'll be scored on opportunity clarity, customer understanding, your revenue model, your equipment strategy, marketing plan, financial plan, and your growth strategy. Knowing this rubric upfront is huge because it means you know exactly where to focus your energy to get the highest possible total score. And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate mindset shift this entire program is trying to create for you. The old way of thinking is simply saying, hey, I have an idea. But the triple E way of thinking, that's saying, I have a structured business opportunity. It is literally the difference between just having a dream and having an investable, ready-to-go enterprise. All right, let's quickly recap our key takeaways here. Remember, business plans provide essential direction, and highly structured opportunities are what actually attract support and funding. Planning actively improves your daily decision-making because growth requires real preparation. You got to remember that successful enterprises are built intentionally. You are making that transition from just having a skill to running a structured business. Oh, and as a quick teaser for what's coming up next, Module 11 is going to focus all on how to collaborate and build community enterprise clusters so you can create truly scalable business ecosystems. It's going to be great.
But hey, before we get to Module 11, you actually have a plan to write. So I'm going to leave you with this final question. Are you ready to map your route and transform your skill into a structured enterprise? You've got the tools, you have the roadmap, and you absolutely know the mindset required. Now it's time to go execute your Project I submission. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and honestly, I cannot wait to see the incredible enterprises you're about to build.